Hello, thank you for joining us today for our webinar on meeting support, facilitation, purpose, planning, practice. The contents of this webinar comes from the booklet Facilitation, Purpose, Planning, Practice, and Worksheets, located on both the California State Council on Developmental Disabilities and the Board Resource Center websites. Facilitation is an important part of how we can support an individual to become an active participant in their meetings. The primary objective of a facilitator is to focus on the individualized needs of the person. This means taking a look at three key areas: the person's professional needs, their personal needs, and the organizational needs of the agency. In addressing these areas, facilitators can assist in creating a facilitation plan that can help members become informed and successful contributors in their meetings. Facilitation means assisting others to have success with their professional goals. It is used in a variety of service and business environments and helps individuals perform effectively as board, committee, or council members. Success at a meeting happens when the individual is an equal participant at the table. This means that they understand the materials, discussions held, and rules of the meeting. They can also ask questions, express their opinions, and make recommendations to the group. Successful facilitation means all members are able to make informed decisions. Some of the roles facilitators take on include note taker, meeting coach, adaptation specialist, and researcher and analyst. Before the meeting, it is important to really know the person you will support. It is also important to learn about the organization, its purpose, and how the meetings run. Pay attention to the rules and process of the meeting. Please make sure that once you have researched the organization and talked to the person, that you are truly able to provide the facilitation service they need. As we discussed before, facilitators provide an array of services for a person. Knowing the organization they are working with is important. Also, important discussions are held and decisions need to be made, so supporting the person on informed decision-making is a must. Adapting meeting material and knowing how to help the person before, during, and after the meeting is also important. Know that the goal of a facilitator is to encourage the member to be an active participant and included in the meeting. The Facilitator Code of Ethics is very clear. Remember that the member is the boss and directs the work of the facilitator. Facilitators do not influence the decisions of members or speak up or voice their own personal interest. It is important to keep your opinions to yourself and know that you may not always agree with the members' decisions. It is also important not to use an organization or position for personal gain. Also, maintain confidentiality. In learning about the person, there may be discussions about the person's life that you may become aware of. Do not violate this trust. If there are meetings that are closed sessions, this is a clue that you must maintain confidentiality about discussions and decisions made. Part of the job of the facilitator is to help create a facilitation plan that is individualized to the person's needs. Think, plan, do is an easy-to-use strategy that helps identify each person's role and responsibility in this facilitation partnership. The plan focuses on how support can help increase effective participation. Think, what is required to be a successful board, committee, or council member? Plan. What type of support is needed to be an effective member, and how will the facilitator assist? Do. What steps will you take to carry out the facilitation plan? The facilitation plan helps identify the strengths and needs of the person. It looks at objectives that the member and facilitator can achieve together to support outcomes. It creates steps to be carried out and can be reviewed to make changes as needed. Before the meeting, review the materials first yourself so that you are familiar with the documents. Conduct a preparation meeting so that you can review and explain the materials to the person. The member may ask that you also adapt specific materials for better understanding. Also, if the member requests, you may be asked to provide impartial analysis of an issue. At the end of the preparation meeting, help the member identify any questions, comments, or positions on issues that need to be addressed at the meeting. During the meeting, explain meeting materials or related information. Explain concepts, terms, acronyms, etc. fast. Take notes on the key issues, discussions, and action items. Provide guidance on meeting process, agenda, and actions as noted in the facilitation plan. If requested, assist with communicating comments, positions, and votes. After the meeting, review the meeting notes with the member. Please consider what format the member has requested the notes to be in. Examples of formats can include large font, Braille, plain language. This will have been part of your facilitation plan. Also review the meeting action items and important discussions. Assist with any tasks, assignments, reading materials, and schedules. Check in with the person regarding assigned duties to be completed before the next meeting. Facilitators need to keep in mind inclusive meeting practices. This means that the facilitator should arrange for an accessible meeting place to conduct their work. They should check in with members to identify if they are needed to assist in understanding discussions or assignments from the meeting. Facilitators can also summarize points, positions, and actions using multimedia presentations. At the meeting, inclusive meeting practices can include ensuring member participation, encourage group discussions, support the use of plain language for better understanding, and encourage communication between members. Here are some facilitation tips to help you. Be knowledgeable about the organization. Provide support discreetly during the meeting. Support the member without influencing the person with your opinions. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar on meeting support facilitation, purpose, planning, practice. Some resources to help you in creating successful facilitation partnerships include Facilitation, Purpose, Planning, Practice, and Worksheets, and the Boards for All video training series. This webinar is available to you by the Board Resource Center and will be posted on www.scddadvocacy.org. Thank you.